Welcome back. I just found out that my microphone was not registering with Streamlabs, so hopefully the last the last stream is not bored. Oh, that would suck. Especially since we had so much fun, and I don't want my man. Updates always break things. Anyways, this is Monday. It's a solo day. Unfortunately, still waiting on finding somebody for the Monday nights, but we shall make do anyways. Today, you'll note that it's September 2nd. Huzzah! I kind of just chose that I would skip the rest of September 1st scenarios. Not for any large or problematic issue. It's more just I feel like the rest of the scenarios that do exist are just big, and not that that would normally be a problem, but it does make it hard to play them solo. So skipping ahead to September 2nd at the very least gives me more options for smaller games, and I don't have to worry too much about translating them for an audience of just me in term or a player base or whatever of just me. So that's the explanation behind it. Today's scenario is from the Heat of Battle Firefights pack. This is technically the first Firefights pack. I believe there are two. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, and I don't want to get Heat of Battle wrong. Yeah, looks like there's only two versions that were ever, or two packs that were ever released. There are also apparently some internet releases, quote unquote. Although I have a feeling like some of these will be found in the original Firefight packs, and that they're just reprints, like ways to just kind of set stuff out for free and let people play. So if I look at the internet releases, as it's called, all right, well, apparently not. 7, 8, 9, 16, and 20, which don't feature anywhere else. Now I'm curious if I even have them. Heat of Battle. I have some, but not all of them, apparently. Anyways, I think you could find them in another pack, but I'd have to go looking through all my stuff, which is not quite ideal. Either way, Heat of Battle, we've already played some scenarios from Heat of Battle. They were the most notorious one was from the Long March, which was the Chinese Civil War scenario pack. But they've got a lot of products, considering their I guess short period of time. I don't know how long they existed, but it does not feel like they've stuck around for all that long. So either way, we'll see them. We'll see more of them in the future, as well as just to complement the scenarios we've played. This scenario, Rabka-Mszana Road, or at least I'm hopefully pronouncing that correctly. Google Translate can only do so much. Is, as mentioned, a 2nd of September scenario. We are still in Poland. It is still Germans versus the Polish. However, this scenario features some unique or more interesting ways of getting reinforcements, as well as a objective that you don't quite see all that often. So bear with me as I go through it. First things first, the scenario objective is that the Germans can only win if they exit 3 units off of the north map edge. Of the units that count towards this victory condition, one of them must be an infantry MMC, and no more than one single man counter can be counted within those 3 as well. So essentially, you have to get 3 units off. It can be any combination, whether it's truck, armored car, etc. but you do need one MMC, one infantry MMC, just so you don't essentially drive everybody, drive past and not have to care about anybody else. And it also gives the Polish side some good healthy targets that they can pick and choose from. Sniper and ELR are rather okay, although sand for both sides is 2. I kind of expect that from the Germans. It's a kind of a shame that the Polish don't get more for their sniper. It's a very low unit count, so it should go by rather quickly. Other thing to note is that there are reinforcements that come in, and certain units in the OOBs, one, you roll randomly to see if you get anything extra or anything different. So you might get an AT gun versus an extra vehicle versus placing units on the map for free, that sort of thing. And any unit that is not placed on the map or has a special identifier to them, you need to roll a quote-unquote special entry die. So depending on what your roll is, the unit will come on later. In this instance, actually this is incorrect. This is actually turn 1 instead of turn 2. So the Polish in this instance could have had a unit come in either on turn 2 or turn 3, but I rolled low enough to get him on turn 1. And this applies to all sides. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, I managed to just roll everything as not getting a special entry outside of the first one, which that is kind of automatic no matter what happens. So anyways, so that's the case. A couple of special rules. There are some ATR weapons, sport weapons on the Polish side. They must be manned by a crew. This is kind of following the previous stream where the Polish get 127 crews, and you're typically going to use them to wield the ATRs. You don't have to, at least not in Case White Westerplatte, but in this scenario, it's mandatory. If you're going to use them, they have to be used by crews. Couple other things to note. So all the Polish units had to roll dice if they were placed on the map, specifically if they were MMCs or if they were guns. It doesn't say whether or not anything stacked with them also apply, but I'm going to assume it is the case. And if you roll low enough, the units not only set up in a foxhole, but they are allowed to start hip. That's why there's quite a few hip units in here. The Germans, on the other hand, have their own special thing that they can invoke. So you can add one additional non-OB 467 German infantry squad, making a quote-unquote flank march, which isn't a thing in the game. It's just a way to give it a name. And tactically, they're supposed to come around the Polish line. The squad may enter on or between hex row F and I on either the west or east side, so top or bottom, depending on how you want to look at the map. And you roll a die to see if a squad, if that squad makes it that turn. So every turn you're rolling a single die, you're trying to get a number. If the squad arrives, the number of units you have to exit is increased to 4 instead of 3. You can opt to get the flank option at any time. It doesn't matter. It's just a way to kind of get a unit around. Like, for example, if you have them come in on the hill, you get a little bit more freedom of movement in a way to kind of mess with the Polish line. If the Polish defend too eagerly on the bottom side, you can have a squad come in from the top, go up the hill, and then try to get off board, and that'll count for your infantry MMC. And it should be noted that it is just the number of units increases, but you don't need a second infantry squad to get off board, which is important. So Anyways, with all that said and done, let us get this show on the road. So first things first, it is the German turn 1. Weather is a 5, so nothing changes. And we will progress. There can be no rally phase, or there's no actions to complete in the rally phase because the Germans start off board. Some units I could conceal, but honestly it doesn't matter. I can't prep fire because, again, I'm not on board. So we go with the movement phase. And first things first, all these vehicles are starting in motion because they are off board. And I will bring a counter just in case, but I don't think I will really need it. First armored car comes in from off board. I don't believe anybody lacks radios, so everybody should be free to move however they want. Yeah, everybody's free to move however they want. So first armored car comes in on A6 for 3, B5 for 6, C5 for 9, D4 for 12. I might as well keep going. E4 for 15. And then F4 for 18. You know what? I might as well. Crew in G5 with the ATR is going to shoot. It is only a +3, I believe. So it is a hit no matter what. It will not be a kill, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 18. Oops. There you go. So this guy's here for 18. We'll continue to G4 for 19, 20, 21. Actually, you know what? 20. Where's he pointing? Yeah. No, you know what? 21. And then this, the TKS in J7 is going to attempt to shoot. That is a miss. Because he's buttoned up. So it's +2 for motion, +1 for being small, and then +1 for button up. Which is very not cool. So that's 21, 22, 20, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, and then stop for 30, and then just delay. Next vehicle does similar path, so I'll just count hexes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's 21. Change the label, which isn't what I wanted. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and I'm just gonna go straight off board because I don't like the 221s. I find they are just really, really bad. I'll just label this as VP, and I've got 1 of 3 already. Yeah, I just don't like them. CMG only, they get pretty vulnerable pretty quickly, so I just figure it's better to skip them. Next up is going to be another armored car. This time they're going on the road, and they are CE no matter what. I guess technically, yeah, I should have been counting halves, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think it really matters that I'm counting that, but do I have anything else here? No. So this would technically be 3, 3.5, and I think I have to at this point. So these guys will get revealed. The crew is going to shoot its ATR. It's not going to hit. Man, these are not the numbers I want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8, 9, 9.5, 10. And then I'm going to intensifier. Intensifier. Same thing. It's gonna be. I'm gonna be off by whatever, by like 2 at this point, because the intensive will give +2. So 10, 13. I'll just do 14 and then stop, because it doesn't really matter at this point. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and then I'm gonna overrun the crew with the ATR. You know what, man, I don't want to do this, but because have a feeling like this is not going to work. So LMG is going to be used to try and take out the armored car. That is a hit. That's definitely not a kill. Oops. And then I will get to overrun. So let's get our vehicle ordnance cards. Now this guy's even scarier because he is not a regular 221. He's a 222 6-rad, I believe. Which I have to try and figure out where the heck the 222 is. Come on, Control F. Not what I'm looking for. 222, no, not that one. The 6, there you go. 221 late. Wait, did they seriously give me a 221 late? Why does that not sound right? Nope, that's what it is. Alright, cool. 222 late. So, a CE overrun is 18. I mean, it's brush. Brush is 4, I believe. What are we looking at here for terrain? Terrain, brush, armored cars 4. So it's 1/4 plus 4, which is 9. So it's 11. It only cost me like 3 to get here. So I'm just gonna put 14. I'll put 15 just to be safe. And then it's 18 firepower. There are no modifiers here, so it's just a straight 10 on 18, which is pretty bad. It's still a normal morale check, which is nice, I guess. All right. So that guy breaks. This is not a good start. I'll continue. Yeah, I'll continue for 19. And then 20, 23, 26. And I'm going to stop. Because of all the things I need / want to do, is just take out this TKS. And if I can take out the TKS, it's basically game over. I have a sneaking suspicion that it might already be game over because it doesn't seem like this scenario is very well balanced. Obviously, because it's a very small scenario, it's very swingy. But wow, I did not check that number, and that makes sense. Oh, there's no... Huh. Okay, well, that'll be a second thing to talk about. Alright, cool. So, now that I've got all my most of my vehicles done anyways, let's get some infantry going here. So, squad comes in on A2, goes to B2 for 2, C3 for 3, D3 for 4, and then I will go to E3 for 5. I don't think I want anybody to shoot at them. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go do these guys first. 7-0 with a squad with an LMG will come in on A8 for 1, B7 for 2, C7 for 3, D7 for 4, and then 5-6 to E7. I will take this opportunity to shoot. It is a 4 down 2. Okay. Welp. I'm going to CX and go to F6. The stack in G8 is going to shoot. It's a 4 down 2. All right, there. That makes more sense. 2 on 4 is a K2, so random selection, leader, and then squad. All right, so both take a casualty reduction. Leader is wounded, and the squad is halved. And then on top of that, it's a 2 morale check. So leader first will break automatically. Now he can't provide a +1 anymore. So and doesn't matter. So those guys break anyways. Next up, do I have enough? I think I need to CX with these guys. Next guys will come in on A7 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do need to do this. 7. And I might as well do this as well. So last guy in the foxhole reveals himself to shoot I don't need this anymore. A 4 down 2. Yeah, 4 down 2 shot. They will cower. Well, they don't cower because the leader, but 8 on 4 is nothing. So that was 7, and then they'll go here for 8. I will have the guy in the foxhole final protective fire as a 4 down 2. It's a pin task check, and he also breaks himself. So pin task check, leader is pinned, squad is also pinned. All right, these these rolls, these rolls today, they're wacky to say the least. This is gonna come off no matter what. A truck is 3 hexes off board, so half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. I might as well wait till I get as close as possible. So 5.5. Pretty sure it's 5.5. I'm gonna have this squad just subsequent. It's a 6. I believe. Okay, so 6 firepower. I need a 6 or less to affect the vehicle. I rolled a 7, so I won't get anything. And I believe. Oh man, do vehicles just get a? I don't think they get a +2. Yeah, ESAL, SRB. Come on, rulebook. Let me. Does it say if I just check trucks? Not what I'm looking for. T6 transporting personnel. Ow. Riders are always subject to collateral attack. AV riders must be allowed. Recovery, loading, unloading, armored half tracks. Yeah, that's fine. Leadership, rally. That's still half tracks. Trucks. Only difference in transporting personnel by truck or unarmored half track is that both the vehicle and its passengers are subject to all forms of attack. A non-ordnance or mortar attack is resolved on this vehicle star line on the IFT against both the vehicle and collaterally against the passengers and crews with the same DR. Okay. So, essentially, I need to go look at collateral damage, which is D.8. Now, collateral attacks, it's just a G, which is general and collateral attack applies to all vulnerable PRC. I don't believe there's any modifiers or anything. What do we got here? When a vehicle is subjected to, but not destroyed, etc., by firepower, which is not required to predesignate it as the target, aka you're not doing a 2-hit roll. Any vulnerable PRC in or on it are subject to general collateral attack, but modified normally for ranges hindrance, TEM, CEDRM, etc., just as if the vulnerable PRC were the only target being attacked. Additionally, the vulnerable PRC of any vehicle in the same location are also subject to the same general collateral attack, and but possibly with different modifiers due to their CE motion status. A general collateral attack is the special name in the application of an original attack, yada yada yada. So, if I check the play chart here, or the specific chart, is there anything here? CE DRM is the only DRM. I don't... Do they get it? So it's not a deliberate immobilization attempt. The vehicle is not destroyed. So resolve versus all vulnerable PRC. Yeah. Modify the attack normally for range TM hindrances. So I guess, you know what I think it is? I think you get a +2 for CEDRM, because that, to me, seems like it would always apply. However, you also would get the -2 for if you're in open ground and non-assault movement is what I would assume. Unprotected crews. The inherent crew as well of a vehicle receiving fire, including fire lane residual FP, through an unarmored target-facing aspect, including an open-top AFV, either airburst or fire from elevation. What do we got here? AF of 0, vulnerable, button up. The PRC of any AFV with a hull... Okay, yeah, but that's not... Where it's not an AFV, so I don't have to worry about that one. Vehicle immediately stops when the crew brakes. If the crew routes or is eliminated, the vehicle is marked with an abandoned counter. Alright, I think I know. I think I understand here. So nothing happens to the vehicle, but it is a pin test check. So then, because it is... Oh, wait, sorry. It's a 7 on 6, which is a normal morale check. So then the crew has to take a morale check. He's fine, if only because crews have a morale of 8. Then the passengers have to take a morale check, and the morale, they will break. Now, the thing about broken crew, or broken passengers, sorry, is that the passengers have to route normally, but otherwise, but only during the route phase, because the truck can still just drive. So with that in mind, this was like 6, 6.5. Can anybody else shoot? Yes. I have to have these guys shoot. It's a 4. It's 4 firepower shot, really. On a 4 firepower shot, the vehicle kill number is 5. So I'm again I'm 1 off. It is a normal morale check against them. So the crew of the truck are fine, and the squad is now a half squad. And then continue for 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, and then I'm off board. And unfortunately, that would basically be game, because that's 2 units, right? I just need 1 infantry MMC. But I'll play it a little bit longer just to see if what we can get, if there's anything else to get, I guess, out of this. So I have some bikers here. Motorcycle with sidecar is what the counter looks like, so I'm just gonna go with that. Motorcycles in open ground is 3, just like an armored car. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, and then 24 in motion. And the question is there anything else I can really do? And I don't think so. I think that's kind of it for stuff to do. Defensive fire phase, I mean, everybody's already done stuff. Everybody who could shoot an extra time has done so. So I think that's basically it to do. Take off the defensive fire. Advanced fire phase. Okay, so first things first, let's do... I'm gonna see if I can get anything out of E3 over to this. So you know what? This +3, or +4. It's not worth it. But I will try from G6 to the guys in the foxhole. I believe that's a 3.5. It's gonna be 3.5 plus 3, I believe. No, didn't matter. Cool. I will attempt 3 times to destroy this TKS. So the CMG first, it's adjacent. I did move and it's super small, and I'm buttoned up, so that will be a miss. The vehicle in J6 is also going to attempt to shoot. It's going to be a miss because it's double small, and I move. Well, I'm stopped. What am I looking at here? So it's point blank. I am stopped, so I do get the -2 for range. You do get bounding fire because you moved in the turn, which would be that's just a regular turret. So it's a +4. So +4 would increase that to 11. That's just through bounding fire alone. Then it's a double small, or extra small, whatever, very small. So it goes up to 13, and then increases by 1 to 14, and then -2 for range. So there's going to be no joy there, unfortunately. And then last guy, same idea. Won't be able to get that hit. Route phase is going to be interesting. So routes, I'm going to have the guys in F6 are just going to low crawl. I'm going to low crawl to E6. They can't be captured or anything because this guy's broken. But that would be the only other thing that could really take place. So I'm not going to worry about it. The guy that got off, that was broken, it doesn't matter for them. This guy can't go anywhere, so he's just eliminated for failure to route. Well, every hex adjacent is adjacent to an enemy, or going closer to an enemy, in the case of this guy. This guy in the foxhole, you know what? I can route upwards, so I will do so. Because that would be 2 to get out and then 4 to go up. So I think he should be able to do that. Advanced phase. So squad in E3 goes to F2, and then that's it. This guy can't move because they're pinned, and everybody else is just in vehicles. So CC phase, nothing happens in CC number 1. Weather, nothing happens in Polish weather. Rally, there's going to be 1 attempt. It is not successful, so I'll just put that underneath. Over here, the broken leader will attempt and not make it. Actually, they must retain DM because they are in range of this guy. And then that is it. I do have to take off pins. There we go. So Polish prep fire. I'm just going to have H3 try to blast away. It's 9 on 12. There is a +2. Man, shooting motorcycles is something I'm never gonna get used to. I believe there's a there's a -2 for shooting at guys that are on motorcycles. So there's a +2 -2 that cancels itself out. Yeah, I have a feeling like they're kind of like cavalry in that sense. Mount, dismount, splitting, terrain, bog, wreck check, target status. Fire directed at the rider of the motorcycle, but not at the motorcycle itself, and therefore does not cause any collateral attack or immobilization. Motorcyclists are considered an infantry target type with no target size modifier. All fire versus mounted motorcyclists subject to -1 to hit DRM for ordnance and a -1 for all non-ordnance weapons. All ordnance, yeah, I don't have to worry about that. However, as riders, motorcyclists are not subject to FFMO, FFNAM, and would be subject to vehicular 2-hit DRM. Any unmounted motorcycle is considered a sport weapon for purposes. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, so I'm just going to count it as, because you know what? Maybe that's the thing. Do they get motion status? I don't think, maybe that's what they don't do. No, it says in motion. So yeah, I guess you do have to pay 1 to stop. So so essentially I get a +2 to the shot because I'm not penalized by non-assault movement and movement in the open, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So the shot is an 11 on 12, which is nothing. And I did not get rate of fire, so that guy's done. I need to move these guys down. Probably want to move that guy down. Yeah, you know what? Just to prevent that guy from getting off board. 9 on 8 is a pin test check. Actually, no, it's +2, so nothing happens. Okay. TKS is going to shoot at the middle guy because why not? Yeah, that's going to be, that is for sure going to be a hit. No rate of fire. 20L at point blank range. 20L is a 6. Point blank range is +2, which brings it to an 8. And then not even counting, I did hit turret. But the turret means just means that instead of 2 armor, it's 1. But that's not going to change anything. It is not going to affect them. I don't even think that's 1 over. 8 to kill was a 9, increased to 10. Yeah, no, nothing happens. No rate of fire as well, which is also kind of a problem because I don't really have anything to fight with anymore. Yeah. This is not good. This is definitely not good. So, with all that in mind, I guess I could have... I'm going to have ATR guy who's going to try and plug an armored car. Not going to work. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I can do. I do want to move this squad, but I don't really want to get him in there this turn. Like, I want the foxhole, but I think I'll just wait till advance, and then I can go down for 2, and then 1, pay the extra 1 to get into the foxhole. I don't think there's anything else I can really do out of that. Oh, yeah, this other TKS does come in on board. So he starts in motion. Um, so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stops. And then hopefully with the BMG I can blow him up. There's not much else I can really be hopeful for here. Defensive fire phase, the squad in F2 is going to do a 8 up 3. Jesus, okay. 6 on 8 is a 1 morale check, I believe. Yep. 1 morale check. He's fine. That's impressive. Leader with the squad is going to shoot at the guys across the way in I-4 and the foxhole. It's going to be a 7 up 2. 9 on 7 is a conditional task check, so oh, you know what? I probably didn't do it. That will be a sniper. I didn't put snipers, did I? It doesn't really matter. Sniper? Okay, well, that's annoying. So the leader is not pinned. I don't think I got a 2 on anything else, though, so I don't have to worry about it. Direction distance. Closest is over here. So we've got leader, squad, broken squad. Or actually, the broken squad doesn't matter, but these guys are pinned, which is absolutely the worst result possible because that opens the door for this guy to just run through now. So these guys are defensive fired. Yo, I really wish that some dork wouldn't steal my email address. That's cool. All right. Defensive fire phase. What else can I do? Vehicle 1, K7 against adjacent. That is a miss. Vehicle 2, adjacent. That is also a miss. I'm not button up. So there's no +1. No, that's a hit, but by the skin of my teeth. Only because of the -2 for being adjacent, really. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to hit it. I'm trying to think of any other modifier here, but I think that's it. Uh-oh. Okay, so... it's also a 20L, which we've already calculated was 6 as their 2 kill number. I rolled a 6, and unfortunately, I hit the turret, which is inferior. So instead of 1 armor, it is 0. So I'm equaling on an AP direct fire. So they are shocked. Where is my shock results? There we go. So the vehicle is shocked. I didn't get rate of fire. I would have, I guess technically I might have acquisition, but whatever. Second vehicle, same idea. Also hits. Oh, you know what? It's not a shock. I forgot. I'm not adding the +2 from range. So that's eliminated instead of just shock. Do I roll? I don't roll for crew. So we'll clone this. And really, like, this is pretty much game at this point. Because there's nothing that you can, realistically, there's nothing that the Polish side can do to prevent the Germans from getting another unit off board. If the TKS could have gotten 2 kills, as an example, you know, you're starting to look really good. And then it's kind of a crapshoot on if you can blow this up and kill the motorcyclist. But this vehicle will turn once. I'm basically going to use the same rolls instead of re-rolling. So he turned once to look at this guy and shoot at him. It's an automatic +3, I believe, because it's not an AA MG. Let's double check here. Ordnance. It'd be +1. Sorry, it'd be start +1, I believe. But it's a +1 on a double small, and I rolled a 6. And there is 2 hindrance. So if we're mathing this out, +1 for turning, +2 for hindrance. So I'm at +3, an extra +2 for extra small, so we're at +5, and I rolled a 6. The range is 3, which does not get point blank range benefits. Therefore, I'm off by 1, I believe. But I will get acquisition. That's not going to really matter, but you know what? Sometimes you play the small stuff and you use it as practice. Advanced firepower, fire phase. I will try. Nope, and I break it. So I'm just going to say that's game at this point. If we do routes, the Germans can continue, but if I go, you know what? I'm basically invisible once I get here. So 1, 2, 4. That would be it for routes. Advances, I mean, I'm just gonna have this guy get out and into H3. The squad will go to J4. And I can't get this guy out. Well, okay, so I can do that. I don't actually know how this interaction works because CC against motorcycles, I know they can be treated like cavalry, but I've never really done CC in this. If I write CC, you know what? I'm glad I'm doing this now so I can think about it. Mount, dismount. I'm sure it'll probably say like it's treated like cavalry, but it is important regardless. Portage, overrun, splitting. Melee. A motorcycle may not be voluntarily dismounted in the same location with a known enemy unit, exception in melee. Terrain restriction, target status. Yeah, not looking at that. Rider fire. Riders mounted on cycles may not attack. Okay, but this isn't cycles, this is motorcycles. Oh, you know what? No, yeah, that's correct. Okay, may not attack on the IFT or CCT. Riders mounted on sidecars may attack with half firepower as mounted fire, which could be further reduced as advanced fire phase fire. Any other application of having firepower. Only as a sport weapon that can be used is LMG drone DC. So the one thing that's got me confused is it says riders mounted on sidecars may attack with half firepower as mounted fire. So does that mean that on the CCT table, I can't call it CCT table, CC table, does that mean that do you get anything from mounted fire? It just says motion pinned, so theoretically yes. Do I have anything else here? Truck passengers. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've ever thought about vehicular CMG on narrow streets. That I gotta pay attention to. Armored vehicle. Versus CXTI riders. Okay, so I think I know what the values here would be. So, because the riders, are they counted as infantry target type? You know what? I'm going to assume that It's like cavalry, so they are not treated as a vehicle. So it's not CCV, which means these happen subsequently. However, there's going to be other modifiers, I guess. I'm gonna... Make an overrun as if an unarmored vehicle. Yeah, okay, so they have this weird pseudo vehicle because they pay movement points. They pay movement points, but they don't necessarily act as vehicles. It's very... I'm surprised that... Well, surprised. I shouldn't be actually surprised. There is no, like, cheat sheet on this. So, here's my assumption. I'm going to get both vehicle stuff and infantry stuff. And that's going to apply both ways. So, what I mean by this is that the Polish infantry are going to be... I guess they in a way, they have to fight as if it's CCV. They'll get a +2 for the vehicle, for the motorcycles being in motion, but -3, or +2, sorry, for motion, but a -3 for, because it's versus an unarmored vehicle. Right? Like, that's what it seems to me. I do CC versus vehicles. You know, I really feel like this is where I'm learning more stuff. Close combats. Is it here? Cycle? Really? Cavalry? You can hold enemy units in melee as a motorcyclist, or quote-unquote cyclist, which that seems kind of weird to call it that, but okay. Now, is there... But may attempt to stop without personal incident by in any when it's alone. An unarmed stopped non-motion vehicle without personnel escort is captured instantly in any CC phase in which it is alone with opposing infantry. I didn't know that. If an unarmored stationary vehicle has passengers and the attacker wishes to capture rather than eliminate the vehicle, he must first attack and eliminate, capture all enemy personnel in the location, but must capture any passengers. If passengers are captured, so is the vehicle. The attacker must engage these passengers in normal infantry versus infantry CC, but is eligible for both -2 for his attacks versus the passengers and the +2 for defending against attacks from those passengers. Okay, so CC attacks versus unarmored are eligible for -3. Eligible for -1 is +1 for enemy crew personnel counters. But there is... Okay, so you really have to do a lot. If I check these two cheat sheets, does this clear stuff up? So, motor. No. Cycle. Okay, that doesn't help. Not that I want to And this feels like an unexplored area of this cycle. I love how cavalry is always capitalized. You know it's cavalry. Cyclist is always just cyclists. It's not motorcyclists. It's not bicyclists. It's just cyclists, which does not help. So I'm going to assume, yeah, okay. So here's how I think this is going to go. This has to work. So, we'll just keep this here. Blah blah blah. Actually, I can leave that there. So, the Polish squad is attacking the quote-unquote vehicle and is going to have it and is also attacking the passengers of said vehicle, or the riders. In this case, yeah, I think riders is the thing I want to target here. So in this case, the riders and the Polish, they get all the benefits and all the negatives at the same time against for their values. So the Polish attack first because it's technically against the vehicle, and the Germans are riders of this vehicle. So so in this instance, the Polish will get a I gotta go down my list here. So they're versus riders, so get a -1. They're not trying to capture. It's not a crest unit. They're not truck passengers. There's a so they're at -1 right now. There's a +2 for being in motion, so that's a +1. They get -3 for it being an unarmored vehicle, so that -2. They get an extra -1 for having no manned or usable machine gun / IFE under 15 millimeters. This also cites a 11.51, I believe. So they're at -3. There is technically, I think by the way it's trying to, by the way it says it, is that there is an escorting unbroken, unpinned, armed personnel, because the riders, so technically they're escorting, which is a +2. So instead of -3, it's -1. And then that's it. So there's a -1 on the CCV value. The squad's value is 5. That'll be a kill. And the Germans don't get a response. That is my... I'm just going to go with that as my understanding of it. Because the alternative is you would have all those modifiers, but you're using it as if you're doing infantry versus infantry, which I don't believe is correct. Even if it was, that would be the end of that squad. I could do... yeah, if I rolled for the Germans... that certainly wouldn't do anything, and it would give some free movement no matter what. But if I was to shoot back with the German squad as an example, they are in motion, so their firepower is halved to 2. I think it would just be a 1 to 2. I don't think they get anything else. Like, conversely, I think they would be doing what you would normally do, which is compare your firepower of any usable units and weapons and all that, and then compare it on the CCT rather as and not as CCV, and then you would do normal odds ratio stuff. So I think that's how that would play out, and then we go into turn 2, and honestly, any of these 3 vehicles could get off, and that would be it. There's not much that can really be said for the scenario. moving forward, because it's already been accomplished. And like I said, there's just not much that can really take place at this point. I can do rally, that doesn't work. And then, yeah, like, it's really just a matter of if I can run one of these vehicles off, that gives me the extra. I don't need the extra, but that's basically it. Actually, I should remove that and put it here. There. It's only fair. Do these guys get a wreck? No. All right. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight's game, just because there's not much else I can really do for it. Like I said, the objective's already been completed because I have one infantry MMC that got off board. But if we're looking at the scenario, so if you do ever get a hold of Heated Battles Firefights, all their scenarios from the Firefights scenario packs, because there are 2 of them, and one was apparently an internet release, which I should check to see if I can find any of the other ones, because I'm allegedly missing some. But the packs are all very short. They're all very small. In a kind of in the same vein as Lone Canuck Publishing's. Oh my God, why am I quick 6? The quick 6 scenarios. They're very fast. Oh, they're a very limited number of turns. So they're all fun in that regard. This one, I only checked afterwards, and I probably should have checked beforehand. The Rabka-Mszana road, I'm pretty sure it's Mszana. Anyways, FF-01 is dominated by the Germans. German victory versus Polish is 25-11. And I think that makes sense. The Germans get a little bit too much, have a little too many, a few too many units to work with, especially ones that have some armor and can take advantage of that speed. The truck as a good example. I just didn't roll equal or under the vehicle to kill number, and because of that, I couldn't immobilize it. I'd have to. I'm pretty sure I'm not playing that one wrong. I would feel bad if I was. There's also something to be said about the variable units that you can potentially roll to get, which really change how things play out. As an example, the Polish can get a 37mm Bofors AT gun. If you get a Bofors gun and you can get it to come in, and it starts off board, which is also problematic, but if you can get it on board on turn 1, I mean, good luck for the Germans and trying to get a unit out from under its nose. You know what? I should roll to see if this guy repaired. Hey, he did. Hey, come on. But yeah, it's really just the Polish don't get enough, and but I say that also having to internalize that scenarios that involve very few units are swingy by nature. So if you miss anything, it might be, oh, I forgot to take off the CG day. If you take off anything, if you miss anything, that could be, the one shot you needed to get to ensure you didn't lose. So unfortunately, that was the case a little bit too much with the ATRs. I just couldn't get any hits. An overrun went well for the Germans, and yeah, so that's going to be it for tonight. We should be continuing our campaign game for next week. So look forward to, or I say next week, but it is this week, Saturday. So look forward to that on Saturday. Let me see if I can find a sneak preview here. What do we got for the Saturday? Because we're playing the second day, there are going to be some reinforcements for both sides. So the Polish will get quite a few units, but they won't set up near to the action. So kind of a way to express getting some reinforcements in an odd structure. Just the way that things happened, or allegedly how things happened at Westerplatte. The Germans get some very feisty 838 squads that we're going to see, and some 338 half squads, as well as a hero and some good leaders, and a plethora of DCs. The only problem is that they're going to have to capture a lot of territory because they have to get to an area of the map and hold it. So we'll have to see if that plays out. Yeah, as with everything, thank you for watching and participating. I hope to see you all on Saturday as we continue with the critical hit campaign stuff, and fingers crossed that I find someone to be playing on Monday with. So I know there was a couple people that expressed some interest, but unfortunately I do want to have this be a weekly thing, and having it start at 9 o'clock is a little problematic, just because I do need to go to work on Tuesdays, which is just places a time constraint. So if anybody is out there and wants to and is available for it, please drop me a line. You can find me on YouTube. I'm on Blue Sky. That's pretty sure that's the current name for it. You can probably find me on X. You can find me on Something Awful and on Discord. So drop me a line if you're interested. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching and all that. Bye.